um, relationships are now disposable, right? If it doesn't work, that's why our marriage, our divorce rate is so high. If it
Mm,
doesn't work, I'm just going to go flip to the other side of the fence because it's greener over there.
yeah.
And that's why even third and fourth divorces are even higher, numbers, because they don't ever take the time to fix
Mm,
the issues that are inside, and they just bring them into the next relationship.
yeah. And they've
So,
already created a program that they can just move to something else. And that part is probably quite fun and they remember that. Whereas, yeah, perhaps they forget the whole
right.
process of having to.
And the other thing too, I'm a certified John Maxwell speaker, and
Mm,
John did an amazing leading through crisis for COVID. And I
mm,
mean, the big part of leadership too is make sure you have accurate information,
mm.
because we all got exposed to a lot of inaccurate information.
Yeah.
And how could we distinguish what was real and what wasn't real? Because all the major, I mean, it was being thrown at us from all different directions, right? But, I mean, I think that that's really important too for, as a parent.
Yeah.
Kind of skipped all around here. Hopefully people are following us here.
Yeah, it's
But
great.
I think it is important, for as a parent to be making sure that you do have, the best information that you can, that accuracy, and
Mm,
just pivoting too. I think that that's a big part of children, because they're growing, they're experiencing different things, and
mm.
in any situation, especially in a crisis situation, you've got to pivot. We've all, this last 3-4 years, have had to pivot beyond what we could even imagine
Mm.
prior, to BC, before COVID. you know? And it's like, it's just one of those things where I think, I would love to have a deeper conversation on that, because I think that that's a whole separate thing. But I think it
Yeah,
needs to be talked
definitely.
about, because I think the
Yeah.
other part of that is my biggest fear is nobody's speaking about it,
Mm,
and so everybody's just accepting it. And I went into a group of over 50, because I'm over 50, and I was appalled at the number of women that responded back. I had like 64 comments. They're like, "Oh yeah, you're right there. You're right there. Yeah, I'm there, And I was just like, wow. And then they're like, yeah, there's groups here on Clubhouse or on Facebook. And I just added up the numbers, and there were 41,000 people in those groups.
mm. Yeah. And I've
And that,
seen other groups with plenty, like everyone's aware and yet no one is going to talk about it at this point. And yet, and you could map that particular thing across to the relationship with parents, the relationships that are falling apart between men and women, like where we've got a little bit of data and we've created a story from that little bit of data that suits whether it's our scarcity or our little bubble that we want to stay in. And so we're like, cool, that's my story, which means I get to push that thing that makes me uncomfortable, whether it's a partner or a parent or a particular group in society. I get to push them away because this is my story and they're bad. And yet I know it's Brene Brown who talks about it. She says, in the absence of all the data, the mind creates a story. And then we ruminate on that. And then we talk to everyone else about it and build it up without talking to the one person. And yet that might never have been an actual reality.